You know, it's been a while since a pair of boots have made me just stop and stare when I open them, but these boots made me nearly catatonic. Welcome, I'm Carl Murawski. This is the channel that helps you own better, look better, and live better. These are the Tukano boots by Colombian brand Bordon Handmade. Now, Colombia is a wild place. Did you know they have a 21-foot statue of Shakira there? Amazing. And they also have more bird species than all of the rest of the Americas and Europe combined. Did I mention Shakira? Now, the first time I heard about these boots was actually on the Bootlosophy YouTube channel, and Tech had this pair that I was like, those are absolutely gorgeous. By the way, if you haven't checked out his channel, please do it. I'll put a link somewhere around here. You can go and check him out. He had this pair of boots that I was just like, those are absolutely gorgeous, like just drop dead gorgeous. Something about them just spoke to me, and I knew that I had to get a pair in my hands. Well, I guess more appropriately, they'd be on my feet, but you know what I'm saying. Bordon Handmade began in 2018, but adopted the Bordon name in 2019. And actually, prior to making boots like this, they used to have like Blake stitch stuff that they would import from Europe. But now their goal is to offer the Colombian market extremely high footwear at a price that's accessible, and that's gonna be important later. They achieve this in a couple of different ways. First, housing production in their home country of Colombia, and by employing just-in-time manufacturing. And essentially this means that products are made to order, and surplus in the form of stock boots is avoided. Unfortunately, the customer now has to wait 4 to 5 months for the delivery of their boots, but this enables Bordon to keep costs relatively low. Now let's get the construction details out of the way. The leather is 5 to 6 ounce oiled latigo from Wickett and Craig in the color chestnut. They're lined in pure aniline Italian calf leather with a veg tan insole and leather heel counter. The midsole is Colombian veg tan leather, and beneath that is a layer of cork filler. Just to address the cork thing, because some people think that it has no place in boots, which is just foolish in my opinion, cork is often used between 2 layers of leather to prevent squeaking. So if you have a pair of squeaky boots, White's was famous for this for a little while, a lot of times they'll use some sort of insulating material, whether it's cork or a layer of rubber or something, to prevent those 2 layers of rubber from squeaking. There is a shank, and Bordon states that the shank is both steel and leather. So I asked them how they accomplish this, and the way they do it is they use a steel shank and then they put a layer of thick leather over that, resulting in a double shank essentially. Now I spec'd out a commando sole, and the tongue is fully gusseted all the way up to keep debris and dirt and stuff like that out. Shakira. This leather is one I'm relatively familiar with from an American tannery famous for its veg tan, Wickett and Craig in Pennsylvania. Now this particular leather is their oiled latigo, which is hot dipped in a special mix of oils, waxes, and tallows, meaning that this leather will have some really nice pull-up. Now if you're not familiar with what pull-up is, on a leather like this, bending it will displace the oils and fats, resulting in a lighter color along that crease. So that means that you'll have some really nice variation in the areas like where your toe or your ankle usually bend. Vegetable tan leather is also known for its ability to age beautifully, and it's safe to say that these boots will actually look a lot better with time and use, as long as you take care of them appropriately and you appreciate patina. Overall, the finishing on these are very good. The stitching is more on par with boots like Truman than most of the Pacific Northwest brands, and the variations are indicative of a handmade product. I never understood where the line is between sterile factory stitching and endearing handmade imperfection. Nothing on these boots could be considered a defect, though I could clearly see some waviness in the stitch lines and stuff like that. Nothing as bad as some of the stuff coming out of Spokane though. In terms of fit and finish, Bordon punches well above their weight. As far as sizing and fit go, I would definitely use the guide that they have, but Bordon is actually small enough too that they can help you out individually. So if you have a question and maybe you have your Brannock size, they'll help you out. Arch support is really good. Now, I don't have high arches, but these definitely don't feel like there's anything lacking or like there's any space beneath that arch. I wouldn't say that they're on par with like a high arch, high heeled logger boot, no way, but you definitely have enough there, especially for a guy like me. Now, if you want to augment that with some sort of an insert, you can certainly do that as well. All right, so look, there's a lot of leather here, and thick veg tan leather at that. So these boots are gonna take a little while to break in. They're not as bad as my Nicks or Whites, but still, they're gonna take some time. And there's nothing that will do the job besides heat, pressure, and wear. So you basically just have to suffer through it and get it done. It won't be all that bad though, and in the end, you'll be rewarded with a pair of boots that feel more like slippers. And if you need any help breaking in your boots, I've actually made a whole video on that. That video really needs a refresh. It was a long time ago, but the information in there is solid, so you can go ahead and check that out if you need some help along the way. If there's one area Bordon excels, it's value. The components of these boots, the construction, and the attention to detail place them in a much higher category than their price suggests. At $409, they're still not cheap, but allow me to compare them with the closest boots in my collection. The NYX Wickett and Craig MTO boots are very similar in most regards, using a similar leather from the same tannery, the same double row stitched down construction, and largely similar components. The difference is that these NYX cost $759, almost double what the Bordon Tukano cost. There are plenty of differences between the two pairs of boots, but in some ways, I'd argue that the Bordons are superior to the NYX, especially in their finishing. You know, the older I get, the more I realize that there's just no such thing as a free lunch. So in construction, we have a saying, which is you can have it done fast, you can have it done cheap, or you can have it done well, but you can only pick two of those things. And in the case of Bordon, I find that to be true. You're gonna have an amazing pair of boots for a relatively great price, but you're gonna have to wait. So you're gonna have them done well, you're gonna have them relatively cheap, but the speed is gonna be the problem. And that's how they keep their costs low, by not having stock, by not having issues with supplies and you know, spoilage and theft and all the things that come with keeping stock. They basically made them right to your order. And also the way Bordon does things is they open up orders, they take those orders, close it down, make all of them, ship them all out. It's a very good hand-to-mouth way to keep things lean. And as a matter of fact, a lot of companies are adopting the same model in order to keep their prices low and provide you with a good product. In my opinion, it's definitely worth saving up money and choosing the thing that you want, even if it's not this pair of boots, and saving and taking the time to really just buy something that you're gonna have for a long time, because these things will last for a long time, and the ability to be resold again. You know, you can resole them time and time again and have these things probably basically forever. They're made out of great components. There is nothing to complain about with these. I am very, very impressed. And I don't think this will be my last pair of Bordons. I gotta tell you, I really, to me, these feel a lot like Grant Stone, where I go, wait a minute, these cost how much? And they punch well above their weight. So, diamond in the rough here. In my opinion, grab them before they go up in price, because as they become more popular and demand increases, that tends to happen. So go ahead and get your pair if these are something that you want. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you watching and supporting and commenting and all those good things. I really will never be able to explain to you how much that means to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll catch you next time.